Mm. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into a very important topic in theory of firm production equilibrium. Along the way, we'll see Iso-Quant curve, Iso-Cost curve, and finally reach the producer's equilibrium by the end of this video. You'll clearly understand how producers decide the best combination of inputs to maximize production efficiently. So let's get started. So at first, we need to know what is production equilibrium. In economics, production equilibrium refers to the situation where a firm achieves the most efficient combination of inputs like labor and capital to produce a given level of output at the lowest cost. In simple words, it's the sweet spot where a producer balances input costs with production levels to achieve maximum efficiency. To understand this equilibrium, we need to know two very important tools, Iso-Quant curve and iso-cost lines. So let's start with the Iso-Quant curve. The term iso means equal and quant means equal and quants refers to the quantity. So an Iso-Quant curve shows all the possible combination of two inputs, usually labor and capital, that can produce the same level of output. Think of it like the producer's version of an indifference curve in a consumer's theory. Each point of the curve represents a different mix of labor and capital, but all points produce equal output. So properties properties of Iso-Quant curves. They slope downwards. If you use more of one input, you can use the less of the other. They are convex to the origin because of the principle of diminishing marginal rate of technical substitution. A higher isoquant means higher output. Example, suppose 5 units of labor plus 2 machine produces 100 units of goods. Similarly, 3 units of labor plus 3 machines might also produce 100 units. Both combination will lie on the same isoquant curve. Then let's move on to the iso-cost curve. This represents the budget constraint of a producer. Iso-cost lines show all the combinations of labor and capital that a firm can purchase with a given budget at given input prices. The formula is simple. C is equals to W plus WL plus RK, where C is total cost, W is wage rate, L is labor, R is cost of capital, and K is capital. Properties of iso-cost lines are they are straight lines with a negative slope. The slope depends on the relative prices of labor and capital. Higher iso-cost lines represent larger budgets. Example, if a firm has $100 and labor costs $10 while capital costs $20, then possible commission combinations are 10 labor, 0 capital, 5 labor, 2.5 capital, and so on. All these points lie on the iso-cost line. Now we'll understand iso-quant and iso-cost. Let's see how the equilibrium is achieved. A producer reaches equilibrium where the isoquant curve is tangent to the isocost line. At this point, the slope of isoquant MRTS for labor for capital, the slope of isocost is mathematically MRTS equals to W by R. At the At this tangency point, the firm achieves the optimal combination of inputs to produce the maximum possible output with the minimum cost. At any point inside the isoquant means resources are underutilized, while any point outside is unattainable with the given budget. Example, if your labor becomes cheaper than the capital, the slope of isocost changes and the equilibrium shifts downward and the equilibrium shifts toward more labor use. This explains why firms may substitute labor for capital or vice versa. Let's quickly summarize the key concepts of production equilibrium. First, we have the Iso-Quant curve. The Iso-Quant curve shows all the possible combination of two inputs like labor and capital that produce the same level of output, just like an indifference curve. Higher isoquants represents higher level of production. Next, we have the isocost line. The isocost line shows the combinations of inputs a firm can buy given its budget and input prices. The equation is simple. C is equals to WL plus RK, where C is total cost, W is wage, L is labor, R is cost of capital, and K is capital. Now, a producer's equilibrium occurs where an isoquant curve is tangent to the isocost line. At this point, the slope of isoquant, called the marginal rate of technical substitution, equals the slope of isocost, which the ratio inputs prices. This tangency ensures the producer is using resources in the most efficient way, achieving the maximum possible output at the minimum possible cost. So in short, isoquant shows equal output, isocost shows equal cost, and their tangency point gives producers equilibrium. Yeah. So let's quickly recap what we've learned today. So produc- production so production equilibrium is about producing efficiently with given resources. Iso-Quant curve shows different combination of inputs that yield the same output. Is- production cut start. So let's quickly recap what we've learned today. Production equilibrium. It's about producing efficiently with the given resources. Then we have Iso-Quant curve. So Iso-Quant curve shows different combination of inputs that yield the same output. And then we have our isocost curve. It shows the combination of inputs a firm can buy with its budget. And then we have got producer's equilibrium, which happens at the tangency of isoquant and isocost, ensuring maximum output at the minimum cost. Understanding this concept helps us see how businesses make rational decisions about resource allocation. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more economic videos made simple. See you in the next video. Ta -ta -ta -ta.